Hey everybody, welcome to another recap of Big Brother 14. Last time it was double elimination. Bye bye Grandpa Booger and Ashley. Alright, Ian told, now this is what's going on during all of the competitions. Ian told Booger, as he was being whisked out the door, that he would see things that he wouldn't like. Ian, why the hell would you do that? That was the stupidest thing ever.
He doesn't want to be hated by anyone.
He's such a child.
And Boogie is not even on the
jury.
The jury.
No.
So, I don't.
I think Ian is just, I mean, he brought his teddy bear in.
He's an immature guy.
Yeah, he's like a Chucky doll. Alright, so Booger tells Frank, and of course now Frank's almost thinking, you know, something's going on in that big pumpkin head of his, and I shouldn't trust Ian. So Ian ends up winning the HOH, and Frank knows that he's going up. He's got a suspicion. He's like, you're not going to put me up, are you? So he's trying to intimidate Ian, and it's not working.
No.
And when he does go up against Ashley, he's pissed. And Ian was telling Brittany, you know, in a situation like this, because he's a student of the game, you got to backdoor Frank. Because that's the only, that's the better way of trying to get him out.
I agree totally with that.
Yeah.
He's too strong a player.
Exactly. So, of course, he wins the POV, and Joe goes up in his place. And then he's like yelling at everybody to get rid of Joe. Hello, Joe is still in the room. It's really rude, you know?
I'm right here.
That's why he's the monkey. Alright, so Ashley gets voted out, and Ian is feeling bad. He's going to miss Ashley a lot.
Who really didn't want to have anything to do with him.
She's like, who are you? Bye. Alright, so Frank goes on a little tirade again. Brittany is yelling at him, don't upset Ian, he's emotionally fragile.
Which is true.
I guess so, but then Ian has a little freak out of his own, and he feels like he's going straight to hell. So who does he talk to? Dan. You're a renegade now, Ian. And Ian seemed to kind of like that. Does that mean there's a whole little separate alliance?
Dan was like laughing as he said that.
I know. Alright, so Frank wants to work with everyone except Joe and Dan. So Brittany makes a deal with Frank, which I don't think is completely kosher. She's in the Quack Pack, plus, I mean, it's basically the house against Frank, so he's really willing to work with pretty much anybody except Dan and Joe right now. So it's HOH competition time. And the house guests were given this game to practice with earlier in the week. I think they had like 10 minutes each to actually see, you know, get the feel for it. 10 minutes is not a lot of time to get familiar with this game. It's pretty difficult.
It seemed simple enough, though.
I don't even know if they had the exact setup that they were using, but they had something similar. So it's basically a head-to-head game, but you're first going to have to go through the rankings. You pull the ball up the thing and you have to get it to the top slot, but there's holes along the way. So the ranking one was all full of numbers. It was how far you can actually get it up, and as you went up, the numbers got higher and higher. So the crappiest players go head-to-head first, and then you have to beat everybody to get to the top. So the crappiest players just so happen to be Dan and Frank. Talk about fate. The ultimate battle, and Dan loses to Frank.
He had, the whole thing was set up, I mean, Frank was the lowest one. How could he?
Well, Dan and Frank were both the lowest.
I know, but he really put him to shame.
Yeah, Frank is a beast when it comes to the competitions. He might not have much of a head for strategy, but when it comes to sheer beastness, he can really win the comps. So he beats Jen, well, after Dan, of course, and then Brittany, and then Danielle, and then Joe, and then Shane, and he wins the HOH.
And I think he did show a little bit of thinking there, because he went nice and slow. I don't think he dropped the ball once.
He had experience with it. It's like, yeah, you have to beat all these people, but you've got the most experience at this game now, and you're cool under pressure.
But you would think that some of these people would watch him while he was playing, and maybe instead of trying to go really fast and drop the ball, do it slow and steady and get it in there.
Well, as part of the perk of winning HOH, he got to choose the sole have-not for the week. Now, I don't know why they didn't reveal this, but the have-not was America's choice was that you got matzah and mozzarella.
Ooh.
That's great. Are you kidding? Matzo ball soup and like matzah pizza.
Wait, is it matzo ball soup?
No,
but just plain old matzah.
But you can make matzo ball soup with matzahs.
Yeah, maybe if you're a chef.
Hello, Joe.
He's not the chef.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he's the chef, but he's not the one.
He's cooking everybody's food. So, of course, Frank, it's a no-brainer. He's choosing Dan to be the have-not this week. He wants to punish him. All right, so Frank tells Brittany that Dan and Danielle are going up. No surprise there. So he goes up to the HOH, and they never showed, hey guys, I got my HOH room. This episode was like really, maybe they'll show it on Wednesday. I don't know why they would show it like after the fact though, because they've already gone way past that. But there was Pandora's box, and Frank decides to open it because he sees a room full of cubes, and he says, and it says in the note that he's going to be richer when he leaves that room. So it's full of money cubes, the ones that they had seen in the crane machine. He gets to open 3. He could win up to a total of $10,000. So after he opens the boxes, though, he's going to be locked up for a whole hour. Not really that long.
No.
So the 3 boxes that he ends up opening are $1.05, poops, 7-Eleven, poops, and that's $7.11. And third one's the charm, $3,333.33. So that was pretty cool. So now, as he's locked up in his room, the rest of the house is going on a little adventure. There's a second veto this week up for grabs, and it's in the crane game. It's a golden power veto ball, and it's going to cost 50 cents a shot though. But where are these freaks going to get quarters from? They've been locked up in this house for months. No one's got any spare change. Well, balls come dropping from the sky, from the Big Brother sky, and some of them have nothing in them, and some of them have 50 cents. So Dan is one of the first ones to try the machine. I think he was the first one to try the machine because he found some quarters, and he tells everybody that he won it. Why would you even lie?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't see what the point of that is, because it's just showing your hand to everyone when they realize that you didn't win, because you're not holding it in your freaking hand when you come out.
I think some people after that episode were a little disillusioned with him because he looked bad. You know, he
did look bad.
Like he was panicking and desperate.
Well, he was, because I forgot to tell you. Oh no, they didn't have the nominations yet, so never mind. But he knows he's going up on the block. Alright, so Brittany goes in there. Well, they showed her going in there next, and she actually had it in the claw. I've
been there, Brittany. I usually play these claw machines when I'm in the store, and I try to get something for Sean. And you grab it.
You're really good at it, too.
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I got that annoying orange a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So you grab it, and the thing shakes a little bit, and it falls out. So that's what happened to Brittany. And then it happened to Dan. Yeah. So Ian, he's a freaking scientist. He might not be a rocket scientist, but he's an engineering student. So he knows how these things work. So he goes in there, and I'm sure he's played quite a few in his... I think he tried to get a few annoying oranges of his own. Oh my God, now I know where Maddie gets it from.
It's late.
All right, so Ian goes in there, pretends that he used his quarters. Well, who knows, but Dan calls him out on it.
Right.
That was pretty cheap for Dan to call him out on that.
It was smart of him to pick up on that really quick, though.
He wanted to get the ball in a better position because the closer it was to the little chute where it goes out, the less chance it has to get shaken off the claw. So then he goes in and he ends up freaking winning it.
Mm-hmm.
So Ian wins the Golden Power of Veto extra ball this week. So now Frank's getting a little nervous. Do I nominate Ian and backdoor Dan? Now he's thinking like an engineering student. But at the nominations, which by the way happened at the smaller table, I'm sure Big Brother, services went in there and switched out the big table.
Of course.
And put in the smaller one now, so we don't have to see everyone sitting around like, out in Oshkosh. So Dan and Danielle are the nominees this week. He didn't go with his plan of trying to backdoor Dan because I think his strategy was he didn't want him to be a guaranteed pick to play in the veto competition. Oh no, he is.
He is.
Ah, that's stupid. All right. All right, so he also said it was for Booger and Ass.
Right, Ash. Yes.
I know. So Wednesday, I guess they're going to be playing the second POV competition. But my question is, how long is this Golden Power of Veto ball good for?
I don't know.
Is it good for just this week? Or is it good until like final 2 or, final 3?
I can't. That would be too powerful to let.
That would be pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So I think if
And what
Ian doesn't use it
what
this
if
week, it's lost.
What if Ian wins the power veto competition and then
The
he has
double
2?
power, yeah. He should get a prize for
Yeah,
that.
if you could save that, I mean, he'd be safe for a couple of weeks there.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and find out.
I don't
Maybe
think
more
so.
will be revealed on Wednesday.
I hope so.
I hope so too, because I'm dying. All right, not really. Till next time, much love.